Hi, my name is Forrest Senti. I'll be your instructor today for this class for the Colorado Institute for Social Impacts. The class is going to be titled Beginning Your Social Impact Business Plan. A lot of what we're going to accomplish today is we're going to have two specific things. For our goal today, participants are going to be competent in business model generation, the usage of a business model canvas, and applying social impact to a business model canvas. Our intent at the end of the day is to have you have the ability to complete a business model canvas with social impact. So the way they're going to accomplish that today, we're going to go over 5 key things. The first one is going to be a business model. We're going to do a creative primer to help you if you ever need to get in the mode. The third is going to be the business model canvas. The fourth, we're going to talk about applying social impact to a business model canvas. And then throughout the entire process, you're going to be doing your business model canvas. There will be some helpful links for you to go and download things like the business model canvas and the social impact business model canvas. And if at any time you have any questions about anything, you can always go back there and watch a video, or a lot of these tools and papers are available online for you to use. So starting off, the business model. So one of the key things when creating a social impact business is that you must have a business model. And what that means is that in order for you to create an impact for the people that you wish to support, you must have a plan for how your company is going to generate revenues and make a profit. And the reason why I say that is because if your plan is to create a business that actually generates a genuine impact in the world, and the method you do that is by selling this widget for X number of dollars, you must be able to have a percentage of that widget dedicated to actually creating that impact. If we sell things at a break even and at a loss, you're never going to be able to create the impact that you wish to do, and you're never going to be able to actually see the change that you wish to see in the world. So that's always an important first thing to start. So before you begin your business model canvas, anything else we're doing in this exercise, take a moment to sit down and think about, how am I going to generate revenue doing this business? So in the example of being a nonprofit or for-profit business, think about how, whether it's grants or products or services, what are those things that will actually generate revenue for my company? And what are the areas that I'm planning to make a profit so that the impact that I'm creating is maximized as much as possible? So now that we've gotten the serious portion out of the way, what we're going to do next is we're going to meet Bessie the cow. This is one of the best exercises you can do for doing a creative primer to help you in actually being able to think about your business. So what we're going to do is I want you to imagine a cow as your business model. This is the single driver for your entire business, is one cow named Bessie. Now, what I want you to do is pause for a second, get a few sticky notes, think of Bessie the cow, lay out a few sticky notes on your table, and I want you to start thinking about the different ways that you could use Bessie the cow to generate revenues and create a profit. The best example out there that I've seen for how to use Bessie to make a profit is for ads. Every single time you drive on a freeway, you see cows, whether you're in rural parts of the United States, you could put an ad on there for, let's say, Coca-Cola, for example. And one of the neat things is that because if you put a blanket over the cow and it has an ad on it, it doesn't necessarily hurt the animal. And what's interesting about that is you can actually use the profits for that to maybe convert your farm to being organic, or use solar, or maybe you give grants to other small farmers to get their own cows to increase the number of cows in the US, or any other impact for that matter that you wanted to create. So apply that same kind of creative thinking to your exercise. So once you've kind of thought through a few of those, if you feel like sharing those, you can always go on Facebook or Twitter and share those to us, and think of your creative ideas with Bessie the cow. But what I want to start with is giving you an exercise and showing you a video from Dollar Shave Club about a very good way to illustrate your business quickly. Because a lot of what we're going to be doing today is going through a business model canvas. And that business model canvas is going to help you to, in one page, illustrate what your business actually does, how it accomplishes what you want to do, and the different methods that you can use to get there. So one of my favorite methods for doing this, like I said, is a Dollar Shave Club video. That video actually illustrates everything that Dollar Shave Club does to become a successful business. And if you think creatively, it even talks about some social impact as well. And because this is popular, a lot of you know this and know that Dollar Shave Club is a very successful company, and they've created a lot of good things in the United States for the shaving industry. So we'll go ahead and play the video now, and then you can watch it. and then we'll move on to the next piece.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
So now you've watched the video and probably laughed a little bit like I did. One of the important things in the canvas that we're going to be doing next is I'm going to introduce you to this concept where you can literally take your entire business model and put it in one page and use it to organize your business from the start and actually move forward from there. What this is this is a tool that's designed to describe, design, challenge, and pivot your business model. And it looks like this. This PDF right here is available in many different forms across the web. It's free and available to everybody. If you just go to Google and type in Business Model Canvas, the most popular version of this is from a company called Strategizer. You can download their PDF image, print it out, get some sticky notes, pen, markers, crayons, whatever you feel like using, and you can actually use this. So what I recommend you do at this point is to, if you're at home doing this right now, download this canvas right here, print it out, and for the rest of this program, I want you to have it in front of you as we talk through it. Because what you're going to want to do as we're going along is I'm going to now describe all of these boxes, all 9 of these boxes, and what you're actually going to be putting in them and all the different pieces you're going to use as you're going along and actually filling them out. Because once you're done, this will paint a clear picture of what your business actually does. So once you've already printed that out, you have it in front of you, you got your pen and paper, and you're ready to go, we'll go ahead and start getting into the next piece, which is actually describing what each of these 9 boxes actually do. So the first one is customer segments. I like to fill these out in this order, and we're going to be starting with customer segments. So to describe customer segments, what this is to build an effective business model, a company must identify which customers it tries to serve. An example of a customer segment would be that if I am a company selling toys, and let's say the specific toy would be Barbie dolls, I would want to sell that to a specific audience. And that customer segment would be probably children under the age of 14. And that would be my customer segment. So in that box, I would actually write, children under the age of 14. And I would try and describe that customer as best I can. If I'm in the outdoor industry, if I'm doing an IT service, if I'm building a product, I want to describe that person down to where it's almost somebody I know. And you can do as many of them as you want. If there's 5 different types of customers you want to go after, 10, 20, 30, it doesn't matter. Detail them the best you can. Think of this like a target persona, where that persona is actually somebody you're trying to paint. And that's where you'll put it. So the next one is the value proposition. So what the value proposition is, this is the collection of products and services a business offers to meet the needs of its customers. Now, what this means is that this is the specific value that you create in order to satisfy your impact. And what I mean by that is if you have a product or a service, this is the specific thing that you are creating and bringing to the world to meet the needs of the people that you identified previously in the customer segment. And what that looks like is when I say I wanted to bring Barbie dolls to the world, the specific need I'm trying to bring is that children want to play with small figures and simulate their existing world. So I'm bringing a high quality, reusable toy that people can use to meet the needs of their customers. So that's the value proposition. So think of that in the context of the customer segment that you just previously designed that you want to create. The next one is called channels. What this means is that the company can deliver its value proposition to its targeted customers through different channels. And the way we talk about this is that once we've defined our value proposition and we've defined our targeted customers, this is the method that we're actually going to use to get to those people. Here you would talk about if you're planning to do things like a online marketplace, you would actually say your channel is a website. So you would in this box write down website, or you would say social media, or you would say word of mouth. These are the specific actual channels you use to reach your customers. The next one is customer relationships. In this box, this one's all about ensuring the survival and success of your business. Companies have to identify the type of relationship they want to create with their customer segments. So I want you to put the Dollar Shave Club video back into your head. When we think about the Dollar Shave Club video, one of the things that comes up is that video creates a certain tone of how you think of Dollar Shave Club as a company. When you think of Dollar Shave Club as a company, you think of them as fun, energetic, engaging. This is the way that company engages with you as their customer segment, as somebody that they wish to sell their product or service to. So in this box, if you're building your business, take some time to really think through who you are as a company. And then a few bullets or a few sentences, really talk to who you are as a business. What are we trying to accomplish? What are the emotions we want people to feel when they think of our brand? Like these types of things. This is really a place for you to flesh out who you are. If your company was a person, what would that person be like? And that's what I want you to put here. The next one is revenue streams. So this one's very simple. This is the way a company makes income from each customer segment. So when we outline the different customer segments, those different customer segments potentially could have different products associated with them or different services associated with them. So this is where we are quite literally just going to list out the different things that we make to generate income. If you're going to be a clothing company, you could suggest the different lines of clothing you're going to create, or you could even do things like talk about this product or this service. Maybe you're a consulting business, maybe you're a restaurant. Talk about the different ways that you're going to generate revenue for yourself and list out the individual streams. Now, if you're a restaurant, I wouldn't just list out every single food item you're going to put on the menu. But if you're a restaurant and you also do catering, you would put your, in-restaurant dining, and you would put your catering, and then maybe you put away, to-go lunches. But that's how you would list out the different lunches, because each of those actually has a different customer segment. So this is where we list out all the things we're planning to do to generate revenue for our company. The next one is key resources. These are the resources that are necessary to create value for the customer. When we talk about Patagonia as a company, one of the key resources was that Yvon Chouinard, the founder of Patagonia, was an avid climber and outdoorsman. He in himself was a key resource for that company. And when I say that, I mean that think about the key things that you have for your company. If you're building a consulting business that specifically focuses on nonprofits, and you were in nonprofits for 35 years, you were a key resource. Or maybe you have a best friend who owns a satellite manufacturing company in the Midwest in the United States, and they said they would give you special pricing. That individual and that person's company is a key resource for you. So list out the things that are necessary for you to create value for your customer. And I talk about the key resources when they come to people and special things that are righteous to you. But on the underside of that, these also can be things like, again, your channels or your customer segments. Maybe people are the most important thing to you, or your website or these different things. So spend some time here and think about, if all of these things in this box, in this piece of paper were gone today, would I still be able to create value for my customer? And those are the things you want to list in this box. The next one is key activities. Key activities is the most important activities in executing a company's value proposition. If you're manufacturing clothing, you need to have, you You have to have your logistics, you have to have your supplies, you have to have your manufacturing site, you have to have your employees to actually make the clothing. You need to have your website for selling the clothing, you have your salespeople selling the clothing. These are all the key activities to actually executing on your company's vision. If you're planning on doing a food truck and only 3 of you are going to operate it, you could say the food truck, the logistics to get the food to you. You could say your food supplier. You could say the truck itself. These are all the different things that you can talk about and actually the necessary things to execute that proposition. And you can think of these minimally or you can think of these maximally. One of the fun things with the business model canvas is you can actually take the time to either think of this rough, so you can do this fast and do it in 30 minutes, or you can spend all day, break out each of these sections in individual bullets, and spend hours on this and get into extreme detail about the individual activities that you need to make this happen. So this is a good example of something where you can either spend a little bit of time or a lot of time in doing it. So key partnerships. This one's important because in order to optimize operations and reduce risks of a business model, organizations usually cultivate buyer-supplier relationships so they can focus on their core activity. Now, when I say this, I mean, this is what I consider to be a secret sauce to your organization. And what that means is if, to reuse the manufacturing and clothing example, maybe you have a special material that only you can get because you signed an exclusive contract with someone in the United States or a foreign country. And that specific relationship is key to your business because maybe they're a special retailer that only uses a specific type of silk because they believe in paying their employees fair and equitable wages in a foreign country, and they treat their employees with respect and provide them healthcare and education. And that's something you believe in. That can be something where it's a key partnership for you because you're the only person that can work with that company to provide their textiles to your customers. And the reason why those things are key is that it does allow you to focus on what you really have to do to make your business successful, which are things like selling the clothes themselves to your end customer, so that you can continue to focus on what you're doing. And you can broaden this out. This can be things like maybe you have a contractor that's managing your website. That contractor can be just as important as a key partnership as your exclusive relationship with the #1 gold supplier in the world to make things happen for your business. So everything on this one is all about focusing on what relies on making your core activity go. So the last part of filling out your business model canvas, after you've identified all the other 8 things that you need to make your business model successful, the last one, and the most important to actually being able to operate underneath this business model, is your cost structure. Once you've had your dream relationship and really thought through all the different things to think of how your business is going to run, identifying the areas where you're actually going to be able to understand your costs is very important. This is a place where you literally list out everything that's a cost for your business. Your employees, your technical costs, your manufacturing costs, your supply chain costs, anything you can possibly think of, listed out here. And one of the interesting things you can do, if you're trying to do this quick and trying to just validate an idea, you can just put bullets and say, I would imagine that this would be a cost. But if you were actually trying to really break down the cost and identify this as a good idea, you can do a bigger version of this and actually list out the actual numbered cost. And then in your revenue streams, like I said earlier, you can actually look at those actual profits as well and actually be able to match them up side by side to make sure this is a viable business model. I've seen people do things like this before, where they actually take the time to compare the two as they're going along. But I've also seen people just take the minimal approach. They see that it works and they move on from it. And they go, okay, great. This is a great idea. We're going to move on. So once you've gone through all 9 of the previous things that I've talked about, and you have a good idea of what your business is going to be like, I want you to take that knowledge, look at your business model canvas, and I want you to rewatch the Dollar Shave Club video. And when you're watching the Dollar Shave Club video, the things I want you to keep in mind are that in that video, I want you to think of these 9 different pieces of the business model canvas. And as he's saying or describing different things about his business, put those in a box of those 9. When he's talking about, how much the razors cost, that's a revenue stream. And when he's talking about how they get it to you fast and that it's a quality razor, that's a value proposition. So as you're watching the video, take some time, think through that, and apply it in real life, and then we'll move on to the next piece.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
So now you've watched the video again, and you've been able to talk through different things. You've been able to take this business model, apply it to that video, and actually think through some of the different things you're saying. So now we've learned what a business model canvas is, and we've been able to apply it in real life existing businesses as well as your own. I want you to take a second, set that business model canvas aside, and I want to introduce you to the next piece, which is the social impact business canvas. What this means is it's the exact same thing as the business model canvas, but the difference is that we're now going to add the social impact element to it. And this is going to go to this. This specific example is available also for free. This is made by Tandemic. If you just go and Google again and type in social business model canvas, there's a number of different ones, but we'll provide the link for this one as well so you can download it. So I would suggest you now download and print this one off as well. And we're going to talk through the 4 additional pieces that actually go as part of this social impact business model canvas. So the 4 pieces you need to know to be able to transition your business from a business model canvas to a social impact business model canvas is beneficiary segments, impact measures, social and customer value proposition, and surplus. The first one is beneficiary segments. So you must clearly identify who your beneficiary segments are, even if they aren't paying you and if there's no place for them in a regular business model canvas. What this means that if I am creating a business to impact X person or individual, organization, or creature, I need to put this here. If I'm creating a clothing company that's going to increase the rabbit population in the world, rabbits aren't going to pay me, but I'm going to create an impact for them. So this is where you're going to list out all those different things. If you have, like for example, Patagonia, Patagonia here would put the outdoors. They would specifically say how their business is going to create value for that world. And they're just going to say that the segment that's going to receive benefit from their company is going to be the outdoors. So think of that and apply it in your own business model canvas. The next one is the social and customer value proposition. Ensure that you've laid out a compelling rationale that will drive your customers to buy without forgetting about your impact on society. So when we made the first business model canvas, that was purely driven by the value that you're creating from the product or services you're going to offer to your customers. I want you to take that first draft, and I want you to now apply your social impact into that message and actually begin to tell a compelling story about why, if you're making this widget and as other companies making a similar widget, why they should choose your widget because the impact you're creating for the world versus that other company. And a good example of that would probably be Cotopaxi. When you compare Cotopaxi against other brands, one of the interesting things about them is their commitment to using good, sustainable products to make their product they're bringing to you. When you compare that against other companies that create products of similar value, when you compare them side by side, the pricing may be similar, but you know that Cotopaxi actually uses quality, sustainable materials, and they actually provide backup to how they do it. And you can go on their website and follow the trail and see. So they provide a compelling rationale about why you should buy them instead of somebody else. The next one is your impact measures. One of the interesting things about social impact and how you're creating it is actually how it could be measured. So one of the important things when we're doing this is you actually want to begin to keep track of how you're creating these impacts. These impacts can be anywhere from number of people impacted, number of dollars spent to create an impact. It can be a specific measurement, like if it's CO2 in the environment or trees planted. You can use these impact measures to create whatever compelling rationale or story you want to, and you can actually use it as part of your marketing and your branding to help people understand how large of an impact that your company is creating. And it also helps you when it comes to promoting your business. When somebody goes to your website is a reflection of your company. That website should show all the impacts that you've created with those impact measures. The last one we're going to be talking about is surplus. When we think about surplus, what I mean is this is how you're going to plan and communicate what happens with your profits and where you're going to reinvest them. When I say this, the important thing to note is that this is the percentage of money that you've decided as a company to allocate towards the impacts that you said you're going to create. And what this means is that if you're going to be a outdoors store, then that outdoors store says from the very get-go, we're going to donate 5% of gross profits to go to this effort to create impacts, whether it's in the outdoors or some other initiative. That is their surplus. And that's how they're planning to communicate exactly what they're going to do with the money if you choose their business for your need or service that you're looking for. So in this box, this is where you're going to talk about, this is where you make your commitment. This is where you decide, when people buy my product or service, I'm going to allocate this much money towards creating this impact because of people choosing to buy our product or service. So I hope you've enjoyed today's class. To revisit, our goal was that participants were competent in business model generation, the usage of a business model canvas, and applying social impact to a business model canvas. Our intent, again, was the ability to complete a business model canvas with social impact. I hope you enjoyed this class. Please say goodbye to Bessie the cow, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.